My name is Steven, Senior Music Editor at Kiwibox.com, and today we are chatting with the one and only Keri Hilson. How are you doing today, Keri?
Yes, I'm lovely. I'm blessed.
Great. So you've been around for so long as a member of the Clutch, a production team. Why wait this long to become a solo singer?
Well, actually, the Clutch is a new thing. The Clutch is it's a team of established writers. So I was writing for years on my own. Before, all of us were writing for years on our own before we decided to band together. But I was actually an artist first. I grew up, that was my first dream. The artist thing, I was the lead of two different groups. One was signed by Elektra Records. And so I was very young when that happened. And songwriting was really, I took that up because it was my plan B. It was something that I knew that I was also good at. As much as I was a singer, I was a songwriter, and so I pursued that. Never would have thought it would be as successful as it is now. And, yeah.
Is it harder, or what's the difference that you see between writing with a team of people and being out there all on your own and writing and singing as a solo performer?
Well, that's three different questions you asked in one. So I guess writing with a team and writing by myself, because, I think of myself as two sides. There's the writer Keri and there's the artist Keri. So, as a writer by myself, it's a lot quicker when you have a co-write. When you're co-writing, it tends to go a little bit quicker sometimes. It just allows you other colors to your palette, so to speak. When you're able to draw from someone and people are able to draw from you, they tend to go a little smoother, but not always the case. But with the Clutch, it's that way. It's very easy for us. For myself, I did write and produce most of my album. Most of it by myself, but I did bring the Clutch in on a few records, and I'm excited for the project.
Great. So the album is called In a Perfect World.
It's
coming.
Yes.
Coming in September. Why name the album that title?
It releases September 23rd, but I named it that because, everyone has something about their world they would change if they could. I wanted to show that no one's exempt from the realities of life. I may be an artist, but I go through real-life issues as well. I'm a woman. In relationships, I'm vulnerable. I'm a hopeless romantic, just like every other woman. So just didn't want it to seem as if my life is perfect and peachy.
You've worked with so many big-name artists in the past. Did you phone in any favors for this album?
Well, Justin, we did co-write a couple joints for my album. I didn't ever have to really call in any favors, though, because, like Lil Wayne is on a song of mine, and little did I know, he's a fan of mine. He's like, oh, man, I've been hearing about her for years. He told Polo. Polo produced the song that Lil Wayne's on. And, I never would have guessed that, that he would, he heard a song, laid a verse, and sent it back in an hour, just out of his busy day or busy night, whatever he was doing. He took that time and just did it. I didn't even know it until Polo played it for me. I was like, what do you mean? You got Lil Wayne on my song? Okay, great. So, I haven't had to call any favors just yet. I never will have to, but it is a good thing when I could because they all have respect for me. I made a lot of friends in this industry and people that I know would be there for me if I need them.
Great. Well, the single's called Energy. It's blowing up all over the place. What do you think of the response so far to the record?
Oh, man, so far it's crazy. It's a blessing, definitely. The video just released, like, within 2 weeks, and it's already nominated for Best Pop Video for the VMAs this year. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about these things. Yeah,
that must be a great surprise. And the video looks like it was pretty strenuous to film. A lot of, I guess, energy went into it, so to speak. What was it like shooting that?
Yeah, the video drained all of my energy shooting it. But it was fun. I was boxing at one point for like 6-7 hours, and if you know anything about boxing, it's a lot of jumping. Like, you have to stay on your feet. And I wanted it to look real, so it was like jump roping for 6-7 hours. But it was a lot of fun. The actor in the video, Christian Keys, was great. He really pulled the best out of me acting-wise. And, I thought that it's a different look. I believe it did everything I wanted it to do, which was separate me from everything that's out there. You know, I don't see many girls, I don't know of anyone else that would do a video like that. And that's all I wanted to accomplish, was to establish my own lane. I believe it did that successfully.
Yeah, it looks like it did. So else, otherwise on the album, are there any tracks that you might have penned for somebody else or were playing around with before you decided to focus on this record and ended up keeping for yourself?
Sure. Well, there's one in particular that comes to mind. It's called Alienated, and it was one that I actually wrote for Nicole when she was first going solo. And, you know, the higher-uppers passed on it. And I was kind of in the back of my head, I was crossing my fingers like, please don't take it, because I love this song. And I know that I want something like this on my album. So as I was writing it, I had those feelings like, oh, no, this is going to be a big one. I hope they don't understand what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
Awesome.
the only song, you know, everything else was written for me, for my project, you know, on my budget and everything with Timbaland, Polo, or Danger, and, you know, everything else was very much very personal.
Cool. You're about to hit the road on the bus tour. Is that right? Russ Parr?
Russ Parr bus tour, yeah.
Russ, it's a hard thing to say. Is this your first tour as a solo artist?
This is my first tour, but it's just like a 2-week promo tour. We just signed on with the Robin Thicke tour, so I'll be performing with Robin Thicke for about 2 months.
Very nice.
Just after that, like the day after the Russ Parr bus tour is over, we go on tour with Robin Thicke.
Thank God, that's gonna be a tough one. But what kind of show do you have planned for the tour? Like dancing, guest stars, a run through of the hits you've written?
Yeah, we could possibly do a little medley, but I only get 10 minutes, which is basically 2 songs and a little bit of talking, maybe a piece of a third. So everything we've been rehearsing can't be my regular show because it's just a promo for this one. Now, the Robin Thicke tour will probably get more intimate, and I can really, sing, you know, the songs that I wrote, like Take Me As I Am or Runaway Love or a medley of my versions of those songs or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of dancing, just enough. You know, my show is, it's not as energetic as a Sierra, but not as little movement as Rihanna does. It's somewhere in between. My way.
Okay. A nice medium. So since you've worked with pretty much everyone who's anyone in the industry, it seems, is there anyone left on your wish list that you want to work with?
Oh, sure. There's plenty. You know, I always wanted to work with Robin Thicke, you know, in the studio. I'm glad to be on this tour, but I really, really want to work for him or with him on my project. Lauryn Hill is another. I always said I'd love to write the comeback songs for Lauryn Hill and Michael Jackson.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I would love that. So I'm working my way up. Britney, we're about to go back in. She was one of the people I always said, I wonder if I could come up with something for her. And little did I know it'd be a smash. Give Me More, and Now Break the Ice, her current single, I wrote that as well.
Yeah. Did you already write the songs for Britney's next album?
No, actually they just called me. They just summoned me to go back in for her, so I haven't begun writing.
Okay, well, we can look out for that. That's probably coming very soon. So just final question, what do you hope people get out of listening to your debut album?
You know, I really want people, like I said, I wasn't afraid to go to the vulnerable part of me because I feel that's part of being an artist. You can't just always appear perfect like you don't go through things. And, you know, I am a songwriter, so I have control over what I'm saying, and these are things that I've really gone through. And I want women to be able to connect and understand that this is how we really feel, this is how we really think. So I believe I've successfully done that. I just kept it real. That's, you know, salon talk. And men should listen because it's things men don't know. They don't hear us say. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time out to talk to me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
And have fun on tour, and we'll be on the lookout for the album.
Thank you, and vote that video on MTV.com.
Of course, of course.
Yes, I could use that early in the career. That VMA.
Exactly.
Thank you, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, peace.
Bye-bye.